My KBB co-host Mike Danger is more of a motorcycle guy than an off-roader, so I thought it would be a great idea to come out here and maybe do a little bit of wheeling with him. All he needed to do was bring the truck.
Look what I brought. I brought this.
Great. Okay, so this is the Ford Bronco Raptor. Now, this is either the best idea ever because he's going to be able to go over absolutely anything with no effort, or it's the worst idea ever because he's not going to really understand that sometimes wheeling is a game of finesse and inches. I guess we'll see. Let's do it. With a base price that starts around $70,000, the Bronco Raptor is no lightweight. That does sound like a lot of money for a truck, but let's take a look at what you get for your hard-earned cash. The Bronco Raptor gets powered by the 3-liter turbocharged V6.
And it's mated to Ford's 10-speed automatic transmission.
Sometimes when you're learning how to wheel, it's a little bit easier when you're doing it with an automatic transmission. I've been off-roading for a little while, and I actually prefer an automatic transmission because it's not so much to think about. Luckily, the Bronco Raptor has paddle shifters, so if you want to get a little bit more power for yourself, it's right there at your fingertips. Before we get in, there are a couple of things on the exterior of the Bronco Raptor that will help us in our off-road escapades. The Bronco Raptor rides on 37-inch tires. Those come standard. That is insane. It also gets fender vents as well as vents here on the hood. Now, these might look cool, but they also serve a function. This is definitely going to help with engine cooling when we are really pushing it hard, and especially when we're in the low part of that torque range.
It's good to know the rock rails have removable side steps, and you can take off the front of the rear fenders, which are replaceable just in case you send it a little too hard. I've also got an upgraded front skid plate for better protection, and these bumper end caps are also removable, and it gets rigid LED fog lights that aren't street legal, so only use them when you're off-road.
Check this out. In order to accommodate a full-size spare, yes, that 37-inch tire, Ford had to reinforce the rear door and, for safety regulations, move up this rear brake light. I love it, except the rear visibility is zilch. This thing covers up almost everything in your rear window, especially tailgaters. Maybe that's not such a bad thing. These amber lights across the grille are actually a legal requirement because the width of the Bronco Raptor has increased to that of the Ford F-150. And you need to let folks know that a wide load is on its way. Also, that extra width is great for more stability. Another thing that you really want off-road. Okay, so I guess there's nothing left but to get in it and do this thing. Pray for me.
That's not gonna help. My experience with some extreme off-roading has been pretty limited. I mean, apart from riding shotgun to hold the camera for Micah or Lynn, so this hands-on experience should be pretty interesting.
Okay, so I'm going to share just a couple of things that I learned when I first started off-roading that I still think about to this day. The first thing that is the most important is line choice. Just because you're in a vehicle that can do something doesn't always mean that you absolutely have to. The most important thing is to keep your vehicle safe. The second thing is eye placement. So wherever you look, that's where your car is going to go.
Yeah, and that's actually similar to riding a motorcycle. It's a term called looking through the curve, meaning turn where you want your bike to go, and that way your bike won't go in a straight line or off of a cliff or something.
Exactly the same principle here. The Bronco Raptor has gotten some significant suspension upgrades to handle all the stuff that Danger is about to do in this vehicle. So that includes a Dana 50 axle in the rear and 2 Dana 44 half shafts on the independent front suspension. Now what that IFS is going to help you do is help those front tires and front wheels to move independently of each other so you can get as much traction as possible and as much articulation as you're going to be able to get over some pretty serious rocks.
Oh yeah.
When you're crawling over rocks, speed isn't something you're after unless you're shooting to win, say, King of the Hammers. My first off-road instructor, Nina Barlow, always likened rock crawling to ballet. You want it to be deliberate and graceful. So one other principle to remember is always smooth is fast, and that's really the case with most driving. And sometimes smooth is a little bit slower than you might anticipate. But another instructor of mine, Emily Miller, said that when you're driving, your passenger, your co-driver, should be able to sit in the passenger seat with a cup of coffee and not spill any of it. So if only I had
eggs.
So what kind of scrambled eggs? Hopefully not. But if I had coffee, I mean, I wouldn't be spilling it right now.
Well,
so that's good.
Not right now, but give me a sec.
Okay. So we're in rock crawl mode. What is your impression of this?
So it actually makes it really easy to climb over the rocks, especially with the front-facing camera. You have a lot of confidence to get your line right, and you get a good amount of torque to make sure that your truck is gonna go wherever you want it to go.
Absolutely. You can also lock up your rear locker, and that's gonna give you a ton of extra traction that you just felt coming up that hill. So I wanna ask what you think about the visibility of the Bronco.
You know, this thing is humongous. If you are on a really steep incline, you cannot see anything that's over this hood. So it's always good to have a spotter like Lynn to kind of hop out and see if your line's gonna be compromised. It's kind of cool because the Bronco has these, I guess, what are they called?
I call them sights. I mean, they're literally like little sort of handles on the front hood.
Yeah.
And that will help you know exactly where your tires are so you can get the best tire placement.
Yeah, and it's been helping out tremendously.
If you want, you could even go straight over this stuff. Just
Oh, really?
can be nice and slow. Yeah, you got it. I mean, it's so not a problem. Again, think about it. You've got 37 inches of tire here. Like, it's so much ground clearance that you really can go over so many big obstacles. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of downhill right now, and we're gonna use trail one pedal brake, which is a really nice way to be able to downhill without having to left foot brake.
Yeah, so it's activated now, and it's funny because you would think that 2 and 3, 4 miles an hour isn't fast. When you are descending on a hill that's steep, it's pretty fast. I have it set at 3 miles per hour, and it's just cruising along, off-road cruise control.
It's like off-road cruise control, 100%. Let's talk about those GOAT, or goes over all terrain settings, for just a second. You're gonna get normal, sport, tow haul, slippery, off-road, Baja, and rock crawl. I mean, I think they all kind of speak for themselves. Seat time is 100% your friend when it comes to learning how to off-road, so get out as much as you can.
All right, you know what, Lynn? Rock crawling is fine and all, but I want to go fast.
Okay, well, Baja mode is gonna be great for that. That happens to be my favorite kind of off-roading, desert style Baja racing.
Well, let's do it.
Let's do this. The Bronco Raptor has a PhD in Baja driving. When you throw it into Baja mode, you even get an anti-lag feature which keeps the turbo spooled, mitigating lag so you don't lose time. So it wouldn't normally make sense, but in the Bronco Raptor, things like whoops and washboard are actually better if you go a little bit faster over them. The suspension absolutely sucks them up. You get 13 inches of travel up front, you get 14 in the rear. You also get jounce bumpers on this and the same Fox live valve shocks that come on the F-150 Raptor. Plus, this one has extra tall towers, so you're really gonna have a lot of room to move. So, haul some butts.
Can't do this in my Prius.
Not recommended. They've changed a few things on the architecture as well. The uppers are steel, but the lower control arms are aluminum for weight savings. The Bronco Raptor is also equipped with the Haas system, which honestly, when I first drove the Bronco, I thought was the crown jewel of the entire vehicle. Honestly, that high performance off-road stability suspension, when I first drove this Bronco, I was completely blown away by it. It is absolutely fantastic. If you ever are given an opportunity to drive a Bronco, say yes, just so you can experience that suspension. Okay, so Mike, how do you feel out here in the desert?
You know, it definitely drives a lot different than, let's say, on a highway. The dynamics are a bit changed. Can't really just slam on your brakes in the dirt because it's gonna swerve out the truck just a little bit. So you just gotta make sure that your inputs are nice and smooth, along with paying attention to where you're going and whatever's in front of you, because you would not want to hit a big whoop, even though this thing can really take it. But I mean, the best part about it is that you can just go fast on the dirt, which you can't do in your family sedan.
I feel like you're getting the hang of this.
Just a little bit.
Woohoo! The seats are specially bolstered for a little bit more support, which as a passenger who does not have a steering wheel to hold on to, I'm gonna say I appreciate that very much.
You at least have these handles down here.
I do. Might need them in a second. Ah! This seriously might be as much fun as you can have in a production off-road vehicle. You know what? Forget it. I'm not even gonna say the word might. This is as much fun as you can have in an off-road production vehicle. But this wouldn't be a Raptor video unless we jump in. Woohoo! Right there, man. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Dude, you ripped.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Well done. The Bronco Raptor only comes in the 4-door with the hard top, at least for now. And yes, it is still pretty noisy in here. The base Raptor gets vinyl seats and rubberized floor mats that you can hose down after a muddy outing. You'll get code orange accents and details all over the place. You still get the toggle switches up here for accessories that you want to add on. Gosh, I love those. Also standard is a 12-inch infotainment touchscreen that's swipe capable. It gets Ford's very good Sync 4 system and has voice recognition. You get a 360-degree exterior camera, which is great to check out where the rocks are, but it's no substitute for having someone spot for you if you really need it in tricky scenarios. It's got a power outlet, remote start, and a storage bag for your front row roof panels and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. If you get the Luxe package on your Bronco Raptor, you'll also get a 10-speaker Bang & Olufsen audio system, heated steering wheel, wireless charging, and adaptive cruise control. The Bronco Raptor gets increased towing capacity to 4,500 pounds to haul some small toys if your fun truck isn't enough toy for you. So if you are still on the waiting list for a Bronco, you can 100% go in and upgrade it to the Bronco Raptor if you want. If not, and you want to trade in the Bronco that you have now, just go to the link at kbb.com right here and see what the trade-in value is. It's probably pretty good. And it's kind of as easy as, I don't know, crawling over rocks in this thing.
My wife will kill me.
There is an elephant in the room, and that is the Bronco Raptor's gas mileage. Oh, wow, that is so low. I don't even want to say it out loud, folks. Maybe they'll throw in some kind of hybrid powertrain in here soon, or maybe a V8 just to, go the other way. Who knows these days? It's all very exciting. Okay, so Danger, are you feeling a little bit more confident off-roading?
Definitely feeling way more confident, but I feel like this is overkill for a beginner. It seems like everything is just so easy. I would definitely be interested to go off-roading in something that's not as capable.
Okay, great. My 1987 Mitsubishi Montero it is. So, the Ford Bronco Raptor. Yes, awesome machine, built to off-road. But for a beginner, you might have a little bit of a misunderstanding of just how tricky wheeling is.
I'm still good.